Apex Legends accidentally releases items early, and rumor has it PUBG may be going free to play. All that and more. My name's Ethos, and these are your top 5 stories for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Coming in at number 5, when you're making a game about vampires battling each other across the streets and rooftops of Prague, it's not just the blood that flows. Data does too. And Sharkmob has gathered all that juicy bright red data. They've gotten data from the recent closed alpha from Bloodhunt, which I actually participated in, and now they're letting players know what they discovered and what's being worked on. Unsurprisingly, players wanted to play together, and Sharkmob understands that. Group play wasn't enabled in the alpha because of the purpose of the test was mainly to stress test our servers and get some initial feedback. The team is working hard at completing these features and have planned it to be ready by launch, but only for teams working together. Being able to queue into a match with friends as solo players creates the understandable issue of players teaming up and creating an unfair advantage. Other minor bugs that you'd expect from the alpha, such as issues like getting stuck on objects, were also addressed by Sharkmob, saying that it was the first of 3 of its closed alpha learnings, and they'll have more updates coming soon. Coming in at number 4, we first learned about the portal-based shooter Splitgate Arena Warfare when it launched in a beta in May 2019. And now, it has been relatively quiet the last 2 years since then, but the game has been playing a host of few hundred concurrent players in the months following its debut. Now suddenly though, Splitgate is all the rage, and it's grown so big that even its creators, 1047 Games, can't get a handle on it. As the Steam charts show, Splitgate rocketed from a peak of 954 players in June to 14,625 in July. And that's just on Steam. The beta also is available on consoles, and it's had so many players in the recent weeks that 1047 literally couldn't meet demand. The bottleneck was just a matter of numbers. The Splitgate servers could only handle 65,536 players, which good computer science nerds will recognize as 2 to the 16th power. And then when the player count across all platforms exceeded that number, well, boom. As of now, the servers should be back online and everything should be resolved for the most part, but there might be little glitches here and there. This overhaul rush of brand new players did cause this game to slip back into an unspecified date in August for its full-on launch. But that doesn't seem to be a problem right now because frankly, 1047 Games doesn't really need money from players right now. The developer recently announced that it had secured an additional $10 million in funding on top of the $6.5 million it got in May, which 1047 said will help it expand their dev team and increase server capacity. It will probably also cover the cost of whatever kind of post-launch party the company wants to throw. Congratulations, guys. And coming in at number 3, releasing stuff early is good, right? Well, not when the developer doesn't plan to, as Apex Legends fans found out last week. That's when some players in Respawn Entertainment's Battle Royale game were receiving loot boxes that only contained 2 items instead of the expected 3. The issue, Respawn eventually found out, was related to a new lifeline tracker that was due to be released with this week's launch of Season 10 content. It somehow got added in the loot table despite not existing in the game, hence the empty slot in the loot boxes. Respawn has since corrected this issue, and if you were one of these people who had the affected loot boxes, Respawn's got you covered. You'll receive the Lifeline tracker this week when the update goes live, as well as an extra loot box for the trouble. Apex Legends Season 10 Emergence is set to kick off on August the 3rd. And coming in at number 2, if you were curious about Red Hill's game 9ToFive for some time now, despite it being a little bit in the dark about exactly how it plays with its 3v3v3 multi-round format, it might just be that they're having a little bit trouble getting the message across, which is why this week they had a dev update explaining the system in detail while also announcing content that will be available in the future tests. Now, 9ToFive is built around the concept of game flows. In each stage of the round, 3 teams will have to complete an objective, such as determining the location of an item by hacking computer terminals. In the second round, it will be up to the team to then figure out that location to find the item, while the other 2 teams try to get it for themselves. And then, in the final round, one team tries to extract with the item while the other 2 try to stop them. The maps for each game flow are big enough that Red Hill can mix up the locations of key objectives, so each match won't feel the samey. And the dev blog mentions the addition of a new flow, Blockchain Bounty, to the rotation. It follows the format set out in the last paragraph. Teams compete to find a cutter tool, which is then used to hack a safe, and then it's race on to extract from that location with the booty inside. Weapon customization is also on its way to the game, so you can change the capabilities of your weapon without having to swap it out completely. Attachments can also change the appearance of your weapon, as well as its capabilities like sound or flash suppression. Blueprint codes offer additional customization options, letting you tweak your weapon further. Other aspects of the game that are under the microscope include movement, which is supposed to feel weighty but fluid, as well as the general feeling of firing and reloading weapons in the term of both visuals and audio. The blog closed out by talking about the brand new tutorial area that's currently in development. All in all, the developer said that things are coming along well enough that it's focusing more on polishing instead of doing substantial changes to the core gameplay. Now, there's no launch date for this game yet, or even an open beta, but there's still plenty to look forward to the next time Red Hill offers a limited time test. And coming at number 1, your biggest story of the week. It's apparently free-to-play rumor week here at MMO Bomb. And yes, you probably can recall in a previous episode, we talked a little about how EA might be taking FIFA free-to-play next year. And now it looks like we have another game that has the rumor mill running with possible free-to-play inclinations. Twitter user player IGN, who calls himself the #1 reliable source for data mines, localization, and the insider of PUBG, unleashed this bombshell last week. His claim that PUBG wanted to go free-to-play in 2019 would roughly coincide with the release of PUBG Lite, which debuted in Thailand in January 2019 before making its way to Europe in September of this year. It shut down across all regions in April 2021. Still, the lessons learned from PUBG Lite could serve as a template for the core version of the game moving forward. It seems like a sensible move. Most battle royales nowadays are free to play already, including PUBG's #1 competition, Fortnite, and its other competition, Apex Legends, and the game's progression and inventory systems already feel like a free-to-play game. It would also make sense to see some of these changes coming in the wake of Krafton's long-anticipated initial public offering, or IPO. The company was set to settle on a price this past week, and being public means that the company's investors will demand more growth, and PUBG's player base has been shrinking for several years now. A move to free-to-play could in fact send those numbers soaring in the other direction. And that moves us to the question of the week. With the rumor that PUBG might be going free to play sometime in the near future, let me know in the comment section below if that makes you interested in going back to PUBG, if you're still playing PUBG right now, or are you willing to give it a shot now that it's gone free to play, considering it's been one of the few Battle Royale games that has remained a premium priced title. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And these are your top 5 stories for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to check out MMOBomb.com for giveaways and the latest news. My name's Ethos, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, everyone.